out there, Mark, is Clay Webb, the offensive lineman, five-star kid. I think he's out of Oxford, Alabama, if I'm not mistaken. And here's a guy that's a natural center. Alabama already with Pierce Quick from Hewitt-Trussville High School, guys like Amari Kite from Alabaster, Alabama, Thompson High School, Tanner Bowles out of Kentucky, Darian Dalcourt out of Georgia. But it needs Clay Webb. I'm not sure if Alabama at this point is going to get him. He's still flirting around with other visits right now. According to a buddy I've talked to that's very high in recruiting, it looks like Clay Webb may sign with Clemson. And if that be the case, then look for Alabama to pick up Evan Neal, another five-star offensive lineman who's flown under the radar a little bit, but is starting to really come out with his game. Evan Neal, another guy, that's a natural center. If Alabama's able to land Neal, but it still completes its offensive lineman class with majority 5 stars, majority 4 and 5 stars. It could be the number one offensive class in the country. But as far as the 22 hard commitments right now, this is a group that's heavy on the offensive line, heavy at linebacker, and the two quarterbacks, Paul Tyson and Talia Tagovailoa, younger brother of Tua. Despite the fact that Thompson High School, the school in which Talia is the quarterback of, lost the 7A state title game, Talia still more than likely looking to enroll early at the University of Alabama in January of 2019 to get on the campus for spring ball, participate in spring practice, and kind of get himself into the nuance, into the field of the college life. So as far as recruiting goes right now, the main guy on the board for Alabama is trying to reel in. It wants Clay Webb. If it gets Clay Webb, it'd be huge. But if Clay Webb, as if he's right now flirting hard with Clemson, then expect for Alabama to pick up Evan Neal to wrap up the offensive line class. It's pretty much has everything set in stone for defense, wide receivers, of course, the two quarterbacks with Talia and Paul Tyson. One more thing, Alabama at running back has a shot at picking up Trey Sanders out of IMG Academy. And here's a young man that reminds me a lot of Kenyon Drake. Does not have the Drake hands as far as a wide receiver, but as a running back, the vision is there, the speed is there, the footwork is there, the ability to hit the hole, burst, and accelerate. All of those tools are there for Trey Sanders that remind me of Kenyon Drake. He's going to have to work on his hands as a pass catcher coming out the backfield, but also look for him in this 2019 class, especially with Alabama losing Damian Harris to the NFL draft after this season and possibly losing Josh Jacobs, seeing how he fits today's mold of an NFL back, with Jacobs' ability to run the football, catch the ball out the backfield, and underrated pass blocker, and the things he can do on special teams. So at running back, keep your eyes on Trey Sanders.
In addition to being deeply rooted in the South, of course, at the recruiting base, Nick Saban has apparently made some connections in New Jersey. He has found some primary players there in recent years, including this Antonio Alfano, a strong side defensive end who's the number one rated player in the class and one of two players from New Jersey. When you look at the entirety of the class, 7 come from Alabama. That's a bit of a misnomer in regards to some of the conversations I have and criticisms of Alabama football that I hear from time to time on my show, is that people say that the state of Alabama is not that strong in recruiting. But when you have the number one rated class and 7 of the 22 players are from Alabama, and the second state in that list is Georgia with 3, it verifies the level of play of high school football in Alabama. But as you look down the list, anybody in particular that really jumps out to you that you really like, and maybe not necessarily at the top of the list in regards to the star ratings, but somebody that you really like?
I think the guy that I really like in this class, Mark, is an offensive lineman and Pierce Quick. And the reason why I like Pierce Quick so much, the young man from Hewitt-Trussville High School, is that he gets it. He doesn't just get it as an offensive lineman, he gets it as a leader. And I remember he was the first guy that Alabama got to commit for the 2019 class. The moment he got his offer from Alabama, Pierce Quick immediately shut down. He just shut down as far as receiving visits from other schools, receiving information from other schools. the moment he got his offer from Alabama, he goes on social media. He went on social media and he said, "I'm going to make this the best recruiting class of the Nick Saban era." And he's done that. Of the 22 guys, well, of the 21 guys, excluding him, of the 21 hard commitments that Alabama has, Pierce Quick was solely responsible of getting 19. 19 of the 21, Pierce Quick was on the phone calling guys saying, "Hey, join me. We gonna do this together." He even got a couple of his teammates to come in with Paul Tyson, with Dzalin Worsham at wide receiver, who will be in Alabama's 2020 class, and also Malachi Moore, a part of seeing Pierce Quick. The moment he was the first guy Alabama brought in for 2019, and how he has put his nose to the grindstone and brought everybody else in with him. I like that type of kid, a guy that understands his role on the field, but also understands his role as a leader in helping to put this class together.
And that's been a key component to the recruiting process, is not necessarily just establishing those roots and those ties and those connections. And obviously, when you've got the brand of Alabama, you can go into any living room. But in addition to that, bringing in guys that are so bought into the program and what is being established, what has been established in the brand of the program, and is so happy and excited that they bring people along with them. And it sounds like Mr. Quick has done that to the ultimate extreme. He is the 6th rated offensive tackle in the nation, according to 247 Sports, and a top 35 player, regardless of position. So he is elite at the top of the list in regards to the recruiting process. When you talk top 35 in the country, I see that Alabama has 8 of the top 100 recruits, according to 247 Sports. Anything else on the recruiting trail, Stephen?
Not as of right now, Mark, but the guy, Antonio Alfano, that guy's a freak of nature. I got a chance to watch some of his tape out of New Jersey. That guy's a physical freak, can explode, off the edge. And you mentioned New Jersey, but, Alabama's been doing a pretty solid job of attacking the whole East Coast. You look at a Yabi Anoma, somebody from Alabama picked up from the Baltimore, Maryland area, St. Francis High School, and the 2018 class. And Anoma, once this kid locks in mentally, we're talking about Tim Williams 2.0. I've seen this kid in practice, the explosion, the burst, the technique, the physicality, it's all there. And I think he's going to be one of these guys in the college football playoff, because Nick Saban loves to play a lot of freshmen in the postseason just to see what he has moving forward in the future. You saw it last year in the national championship game against Georgia. You had Tua on the field, Najee Harris, guys like Jedrick Wills, Alex Leatherwood, had a lot of freshmen out there. This time around, I look for somebody like a Yabi Anoma coming off the edge, showing Coach Saban, "Hey, Coach, this is what I'm going to be giving you all year next season." So not just the guys in the South, but Alabama attacking places like New Jersey, attacking places like Baltimore, Maryland, getting a young man like a Yabi Anoma.
Yabi Anoma is a kid that had little football playing experience. I heard about him as being just skyrocketing up the charts in the latter days of his high school career in regards to the evaluation. And he was nice enough to come on here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, to discuss his recruiting process at that point. And then he chose Alabama, had 2 sacks this season for the Crimson Tide.